6, 7, 8, 9.
So one more person can come in.
We could give one more person if we had to squeeze them in. I don't know where they go.
Hello. Good evening. I'd like to call the Tuesday, March 24th, 2020 meeting of the Pittsburgh Commission to order. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Just to share with people that we have on conference call, we have Commissioner Mansell and Commissioner Brooks, and also City Attorney Henry Mangini. So, before I read the consent agenda, so I don't have to read things twice, does any commissioner want to pull something off from the consent agenda?
No.
No? Chuck?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No.
I'll just review them real quick. We have the approval of the March 10th commission meeting minutes, approval of the request submitted by Angie Hadley, Program Coordinator for the Restorative Justice Authority, to reappoint Martha Murphy to an additional 3-year term as a member of the Juvenile Corrections Advisory Board, approval of staff recommendation to renew the city's property and liability insurance with EMC Insurance for a period April 1st, 2020 to April 1st, 2021. Approval of staff recommendation to enter into an agreement with Olson Inc. of Pittsburgh, Kansas for the construction engineering of the new trail along Memorial Drive from Walnut Street to the west intersection of McNally Drive and Memorial Drive in an amount not to exceed $29,240, and authorize the mayor and city staff to sign the appropriate documents. And the last item, approval of the appropriation ordinance for the period ending March 24th, 2020, subject to release of the HUD expenditures when funds are received. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Larry, seconded by Patrick. Roll call vote.
Brooks,
Yes.
Fields,
Yes.
McNay,
Yes.
Munsell,
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. We will move into public hearing. The City of Pittsburgh advertised for a public hearing to be held on Tuesday, March 24th, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. to receive public comment on the establishment of the Peyton's Hamlet, oh yeah, thank you, how quickly I forgot, Rural Housing Incentive District, and the adoption of a plan for the development, housing, and public facilities in such proposed district. And due to obviously the limited number of people that we can have at the commission meeting, we have advertised a number if anyone wanted to call in to participate in the public hearing, and that number is 620-240-5151.
Hi, Mayor, Commissioners. I'm standing in for Quentin. What we're looking at having today is a hearing and then hopefully approval of the ordinance for the approval of a project in the RID district that brought before you. It had been, the agreement had been passed prior meeting there on the 10th, as had the plat that showed out to the area that's looking to be improved.
Okay, I guess I would officially open.
Go ahead.
I was going to officially open the public hearing.
I'd just like to suggest something or inquire about it. At Silverback Landing, we cooperated with the developer to upgrade the streets from asphalt to concrete, thinking that in the future we're going to be responsible for the upkeep and maintenance of those, and increasing it to concrete would hopefully limit our expenditures on that. I wondered if we might look at what the increase from the asphalt that they're proposing to concrete would cost, and perhaps make a decision if that would be advantageous to the city.
We haven't had those discussions with the developer. I can reach out and ask them. The one consideration I'd have on that is the way that the street is designed right now, with the drainage, it is set to basically only serve this one cul-de-sac. If that street were to ever get extended in the future, they'd have to come back, remove some additional asphalt on that existing street to continue on. So it'd just be a case of having to replace some of that pavement in the future. But I can reach out and ask them and get an impact for you.
Well, it could, I mean, it could just be the cul-de-sac and stop at that line before the street actually. I mean, I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there for consideration.
All right, we'll reach out to the developer and ask him for a couple different scenarios and then bring that back.
I don't see any calls on public input. So
Close the hearing.
public hearing, I'll close the hearing. We will now move into adopting the ordinance number S 1067 and the Peyton Hamlet's Development Plan. Would entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Patrick, seconded by Cheryl. Any further discussion, since we're not all here? Seeing none, I would move, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. I'm struggling tonight. Sorry. All right, moving into, consider the following. Disposition of bids, East 14th Street bid replacement project. Consider staff recommendation to award the East 14th Street Bridge Replacement Project to the lowest bidder, Mission Construction Company, Inc. of St. Paul, Kansas, with a total bid of $392,952.50. Cameron.
This is a bridge on 14th Street that is immediately west of Home Street. It's at the end of its useful life. We're looking at getting that replaced there. The school district right now does not drive any buses over it because of the shape that it's in, so this project won't have any impact on how they move their traffic in and out of the school there.
But because of Meadowlark, it probably does get a lot of traffic, just regular traffic.
Probably not as much as 20th Street, just given the condition of the street, and it's much more narrow.
Yeah.
And 20th Street's in much better shape, wider, and so we see a lot more traffic on 20th than we do on 14th.
Are we looking at all to widening the bridge so it's more of a better?
Yeah, so the street there will be widened at the bridge crossing, as well as having area for a sidewalk should we be able to develop that in the future.
And I just want to point out that this is being paid for, the bridge itself is by KDOT,
No, this is being paid for out of our stormwater funds.
Stormwater Fund, okay?
I have a question.
Yes, Cheryl.
Yes, I'm just curious, the bids seem like they're the lowest bid compared to the highest bid. There's a difference of $511,683. Why are the bids seem like they're all over the place here? And the lowest bid is still $31,638 below the engineer's estimate. I just was curious about that.
We really didn't get any feedback as to why bidders bid the way that they did. I don't know if it's a case of not being as familiar with some of the requirements that we have for having the paving requirements for the decking, or whatever the equipment that the different contractors have on hand as well. So I can't give you much more insight as to why the spread. I don't know if they had a trip to Florida planned here in December or what, so.
Okay, and we have had Mission Construction do other bridges, correct?
Yes, we've got a list of, I think, 7 different bridges that they've done in the last 5 years.
Okay, aren't they doing the one on 4th Street right across 69 right there by Riddell?
No, they're not. That's a B&B Bridge. Got that.
B&B Bridge, okay. All
And
right.
I think Cheryl's other question was the disparity between the estimate and the bid.
Was it, we had the one bid come in underneath, everything else was over. Again, I say we take our best estimate, and like I say, especially now looking at, what's going on in the world, you might have had someone that had some concerns on being able to get the project completed on time.
Okay.
That-
What is the time frame for getting it completed?
It is 120 calendar days for substantial completion, so we should be planning to be able to get this done. I believe it would be early October would be if they took all 120 days on that. That still gives us weather to be able to put down asphalt, which is part of the work there to connect the new bridge to the existing roadway.
One thing I did want to point out is that we have contacted KDOT in Crawford County, who have used Mission before, and they didn't have any issues with their quality of work or anything like
That's
that.
good. That's good.
Thank you.
Hey, Dawn, could you have Cameron, or could you tell me the construction date that will start and the allotted calendar date? I didn't hear that clearly.
Okay,
Okay. The late start for the project would be June 8th. And so if you just followed 4 months later, it'll be a little short of that. If you took it to October 8th,
Okay.
backed off a few days for the,
did you get that, did you hear that, Chuck?
So it's gonna start in April and take about 4 months?
No,
Is that
June,
correct?
June.
the
June.
late start is June.
Oh,
So they
late.
could not start any later than June.
So anywhere from April to June, and then 120 days,
120 workdays.
work days.
No, calendar.
Calendar days.
Calendar days.
This is like a game of telephone.
Okay.
Okay, Chuck, what did we say?
It's gonna start in April or June and take 120, I don't know if that's work days, calendar days, or whatever it was.
Calendar days.
Calendar day.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the East 14th Street Bridge Replacement Project.
I move to approve.
Moved by Cheryl, seconded by Larry. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Moving into non-agenda reports and requests. Darren? Oh,
We have
Jamie.
3
Oh, yes.
items. Jane's
Jamie.
gonna take care of item 1.
We have 3 items. Jamie's number 1.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'll give you a brief little history of what I need to talk about. Back in 2018, there was a structure on West 5th Street, 100 block West 5th, that was deemed unsafe, and the city had to demo it down. This left the 2 joining businesses, 5th Street Bar and Grill and a Dittman Insurance Agency, with exposed walls on their buildings that needed to be weatherproofed. So what I'm asking for tonight is, due to this COVID situation, the EDAC, I don't believe, is meeting anytime soon. And we usually ask their permission or get their approval before we bring it to you guys for these types of things. But I'm just gonna bring it to you guys so we can get these bills paid. It's outstanding. The work has been done by Hicus Masonry on both buildings. On the 5th Street Bar and Grill, it's at 111 West 5th. Back in 2018, the commission approved paying 50% of the work estimate of $18,600, which would have been $9,300 at that time. Well, the work is completed now, and there was some few things that needed to be done in excess of that 18,600 due to the when the masonry people got in there. There was like some old windows that had chicken wire put on them and just kind of facaded over, so they really weren't structurally sound, so he had to repair those. And so that brought the final bill for 5th Street was $24,760. And what I'm here tonight is to ask your permission or for your approval to pay 50% of that, which is $12,380 for the work on that one.
Okay, did Chuck and Cheryl, did you hear that?
No, I did not. I can't hear him hardly. It was cutting out.
There's an echo. So the topic is the 5th Street lot and the 2 buildings on either side.
Yeah.
And we committed to paying 50% to shore up those, the walls of the 2 businesses. So our our total tonight to approve to meet that obligation is $12,380.
And that's just
on
for,
West-
that's just for
Just
one
for the
building.
west, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so that's for the Ditman side and not for the Fifth Street side?
That's for the Fifth Street,
West Wall, Fifth Street.
the west wall on Fifth Street building, bar.
And how about Dedman?
Okay, I'll talk about Dittman's now. Dittman's work is complete now, and the bill on that is $23,600. And I'm asking that we can get your approval to pay for 50% of that, which would be $11,800. And also, this is where it gets a little complicated. The east wall along Dittman's, part of that wall is still owned by the city, because they couldn't take the whole wall down when they tore that old building down, because they were kind of intertwined a little bit. But you remember the city took possession of that lot, which meant they took possession of that building. So they had to leave that wall up, and there was an additional $3,500 work that needed to be done on that wall. So I'm asking for your approval for $11,800 for the Dittman portion and $3,500 for the city's wall. And once this is all done, the city has plans to deed that wall over to Dittman in the future, so it will be theirs going forward to maintain. So altogether, between the two buildings, the total cost is about $28,000 for the weatherproofing and tuck pointing of those two exterior walls.
Cheryl and Chuck, did you hear all that?
Well, Don, when you talk, I can hear it, but whenever Jamie's talking, I can't.
Jamie, come closer. Come
Oh,
review.
well, your microphone sounds good.
You want me to come up there?
Yeah, no, just talk into that.
Okay, Cheryl, the total cost for the two walls altogether comes to about $28,000. And I'm just asking for the city commission approval to pay those bills, which is 50% of the bills on those two walls.
So is 28,000 total?
Yes, approximately.
Our portion.
$27,680.
Okay, and then you was going, the city is going to deed, their wall.
The portion of the wall owned by the city, we're gonna deed that over to Dittman's insurance agency, so that will be theirs in perpetuity after that.
Okay,
All right, I got it.
Okay. Any questions?
no,
Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to approve the funds 27,680.
So moved.
Oh,
Second.
moved by Patrick, seconded by Larry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good job, Jamie.
Imagine if all five of us were
We
doing.
won't do that again.
Yeah.
Okay, the next item of business that's not agenda would be, as you can see from this meeting,
Let's
sure.
let's ask Cheryl if she can hear you in that
Okay,
microphone.
Cheryl, can you hear me?
no.
Okay.
I can hear Don very well.
That's because I'm really close to you, Cheryl. I think you just have to come talk into this.
Darren, I heard you perfect.
We'll try to keep 6 feet between me and the mayor.
Uh-oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to back up.
Okay, we have a meeting scheduled for April 14th for the city commission, as well as April 28th. Our recommendation would be to just give you heads up that unless we have some business that's urgent, we would prefer to just meet on April 28th. And we always have the option of a virtual meeting where everybody calls in. We don't know how stringent the state or the federal are going to get with our stay-at-home policy right now. This is fine, but we just want to make sure that you guys were aware of that and ask your opinion if you have one today, so we can consider that when we're making our recommendation later.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, we'll play it by ear, and we'll plan on just meeting on the 28th unless we decide that we have to meet on the 14th. And if we cannot have a virtual meeting, that would be my preference, but we obviously will take that into consideration.
Absolutely.
Finally, Finally, the last thing, I just wanted to mention, I've got my back to the camera, so I feel terrible.
I think, just,
I wanted to make sure we reached out to the county today. The county made a tough decision this morning to go to the next level of protecting the citizens, and that has an effect on businesses and the ability for them to operate with the full slate of customers. It wasn't an easy decision, but I want to reiterate that responsibility rests with the county from the powers they get from the state. And the county health officer and the county commissioners and the county counselor have been in contact with us and our representatives through this entire thing. And it's not an easy decision to make, and we stand behind them and appreciate them doing what they think is necessary to keep us all safe. So I just wanted to mention that.
thank you, Darren. Also, thank you to you and your staff for all of the notifications and keeping our community updated on all our social media. Cheryl, does anyone have any other non-agenda items?
No, just want to thank everybody for being vigilant about taking care of spacing and make sure everybody keeps everybody in their prayers and we get through this.
Yep,
We're all in this together.
yep. Chuck, do you have any non-agenda items?
No, I don't, Ellen, thank you.
All right, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So, second?
Moved by Larry, seconded by Patrick. All those in favor say aye.
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 Great, thank you. Thank you, Chuck and Cheryl and Henry. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.